Dean and the Three Clever Foxes. Once upon a time, there was a restless boy called Dean. He was on the way to see his friend Oliver, when he decided to take a shortcut through mysterious forest. It was long before got lost. He looked around, but all he could see were trees. Nervously, he fell into his bag for his favorite toy, Stitch. But Stitch was nowhere to be found. Began to panic. He felt sure he had picked Stitch. To make matters worse, he was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, he saw a clever fox dressed in a purple coat disappearing into the trees. How odd, though. For the want of anything better to do, he decided to follow the peculiar dressed fox. Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. Eventually, reaching a clearing, he found himself surrounded by houses made from different sorts of food. There was a house made from papers, a house made from pizzas, a house made from crepes, and a house made from biscuits. Could feel his stomach rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to ease his hunger. "Hello," he called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Looked at the roof on the closest house and wondered if it was a route to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble the odd fixture or read the odd feeding in a tin of net. A cackle broke through the air, giving a freak. A witch jumping into the space in front of the house. She was carrying a case. In that cat was Stitch. "Stitch!" shouted the hay, turned to the witch. "That is my toys." The witch just shrugged. "Give Stitch back," cried. "Not on your Nelly," sighed the witch. "Let's let Stitch off the dash cage." Before she could reply, Three Clever Foxes rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing, recognized the one in the purple coat that he'd seen earlier. The witch seemed to recognize him too. "Hello, Big Fox," sighed the witch. "Good morning," the fox noticed Stitch. "Who is this?" That Stitch explained the witch. "Oh, Stitch would look lovely in my house." "Give in to me," demanded the fox. The witch shook her head. "Stitch is stay with me." Excuse me," interrupted Stitch. "Lives with me and not in a cage?" Big Fox ignored him. "Is there nothing you'll trade?" he asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then sighed. "I'd like to be entertained." "I'll realize him to anybody who can eat a whole front door." Big Fox looked at the house made from biscuits and sighed. "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from biscuit if want to." "That's nothing," said the next fox. "I could eat 2 houses." "There is need to snow off," said the witch. "Just eat one front door and we'll let you have Stitch." Watch is feeling very worried. He didn't want to do witch to give at the sticks to Big Fox. He didn't think Stitch was like living with a clever fox, away from his house and all his other toys. The other Two foxes watched while a big fox spat on his bed and whined a caniff and fur from his pocket. "We'll eat this whole house," sighed Big Fox. "Just you watch." Big Fox pulled off a corner of the front door the house made from pizzas. He gulped it down smiling, and went back for more and more and more. When Big Fox started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at the first, but after a few more forks full of pizzas, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit round. "I don't feel too good," sighed Big Fox. Suddenly he started to roll. He'd grown so round that he could no longer balance. "Help!" he cried as he rolled off down a slope into the forest. Big Fox never finished eating the front door, but the front pizzas, and still remained trapped into the witch cage. Average Fox stepped up and approached the housemaid from cribs. "I will eat this whole house," sighed Average Fox. "Use you watch." Average Fox pulled off a corner on the front door of the house made from cribs. She gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After a while, Average Fox started to look a little queasy. She grew greener and greener. A woodcutter walked into the clearing. "What is Bash doing here?" he asked. "I am not Bash, I am a fox," sighed Aberrant Fox. "It talks," exclaimed the woodcutter. "Those talking bushes are the worst kind, and you better tuck it away before somebody gets hurt." "No, wait," cried Aberrant Fox, as the woodcutter picked her up. But the woodcutter ignored her cries and carried the fox away under his arm. Average Fox never finished eating the front door made from cribs and still remained trapped in the witch cage. Little Fox stepped up and approached the house made from biscuits. I will eat this whole house," said the little fox. "Use you watch." Little Fox pulled off a corner on the front door of the house made from biscuits. He gulped it down smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After 5 or 6 platfuls, Little Fox started for the fidgeted uncomfortably on the spot. He stopped eating biscuits for a moment, then grabbed another forkful. But before he could eat, there came an immigrant roar, a bottom purp louder than a rocket taking off, propelled Little Fox into the sky. "Ah," cried Little Fox, "I am scared of hake." Little Fox was never seen again. Little Fox never finished in the front door made from biscuits, and still remained trapped in the witch cage. "That's it," sighed the witch. "I win I get to keep Stitch." "No, so fat," sighed. "There is still on front door to go the front door of the house made from papers, and I haven't had a turn yet." "I don't have to give you a turn," laughed the witch. "My game, my rules." The woodcutter's voice carried through the forest. "I think you should give him a chance. It's only fair." "Fine," said the witch, "but you saw what happened to the foxes. He won't last long." "I will be right back," sighed. "What?" sighed the witch. "Where's your sense of impatience? I thought you wanted Stitch back." Ignoring the witch and gathered a hefty pile of sticks, he came back to clearing and started a small campfire. Carefully he broke a piece of the door of the house made from papers and tossed it in over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, he took a bite. He quickly devoured the world's piece. Sat down on nearly long. You failed, clicked the witch. You were supposed to eat the whole door. I haven't finished explaining. I am just waiting for my foot to go down. When foot had digged, he broke off another piece of the door made from papers. Once more he toasted his foot over the fire and waited for it cool just a little. He ate it at leisurely pace than waiting for to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, was down to the final piece of the door made from papers careful. He twisted into a load in a cool just a little. He finished his final course, had eaten the entire front door of the house made from papers. The witch stamped her foot angrily. You must have tricked me, she sighed. I don't reward cheating. I don't think so, sighed a voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing, carrying his axe. This little boy won't fare and squire. Now hand over the stitch, or I will chop your brownest in half. The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it in behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the doors of the cage, hurried over and grabbed Stitch, checking that his favorite toy was alright. Fortunately, Stitch was unharmed. Thanked the woodcutter, grabbed a quick souvenir, and hurried on to meet Oliver. It was starting a hair dark. When got to Oliver's house, his friend threw his arms around him. I was sorry, cried Oliver. You are very late. As described his day, he could see that Oliver did believe him, so he grabbed a napkin from his pocket. What's that? Asked Oliver. One wrapped a doorknob made from pizza's pudding? He said Oliver, almost full of his chair.